So then, why did you? Then you were traveling all these years because you had your
Yeah.
winters off in the ice cream.
Yeah,
So you took your wife and your children on trips, right?
that's right.
What kind of trips did you take them on?
We went to Switzerland quite a few times, and we,
Paris. You went to Paris once.
huh?
I remember you went to Paris.
Yeah, we did.
Where else?
We were speaking of Paris. We had one trip. The only one that was with us was Bruce, the youngest, because Paul was on a scholarship in England, and Judy was at a girls' boarding school in New England. So the only one we had at home was Bruce, and we took him with us. And I remember one night, Doris thought it'd be good if we went out and saw a little of Paris nightlife. So we tucked Bruce in bed, and we got dressed and went out and took the bus to the nightclub district. And we found out later that as soon as we left, Bruce had got out of bed and put his clothes on again.
And gone out.
And he went out by himself.
How old was he?
Oh, I'd have to guess at that.
14 or so.
Yeah,
I bet Doris wasn't happy with that.
she wasn't happy.
Well, Bruce is, just for a comment, Bruce is kind of a risk taker, and he's kind of going to do what he wants to do regardless,
right.
isn't he?
That's true.
Yeah. Now, Bruce got that award. What was that big award he got?
He got an award from the United Nations for what he'd done for worldwide security.
Security, the environment, I thought.
Huh?
Worldwide environment, wasn't it?
One month?
Wasn't it for the environment?
Well,
Security, I don't get it.
the I don't know how you define security.
Well, anyway, he got the main
Huh?
thing is he did get an award from the, from who?
The United Nations.
From the United Nations at a young age.
Huh?
At a young age, and he graduated from Yale summa cum laude. And Paul graduated from Harvard summa cum laude.
Yeah.
So did they get their brains from their mother or their dad?
I couldn't know that.
Maybe from both of you. And then, of course, Judy has 2 children
Yeah.
and works in a library. So you've got 3 grown children,
Yeah.
and you've had a lot of success, but then you were all retired and traveling and everything was great, and then what happened? You start another business. What was that business?
Started another business.
Wyomissing.
Oh, I didn't start it. It had been established a long time.
But you bought into it or something.
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened, the fellow that founded it and made a success of it, he died and left the business to his 2
But
sons.
tell us how he died. I think that's very important.
Well, his father jumped off a bridge, but I didn't get to that yet.
Oh, excuse me. I won't interrupt you. Go ahead.
Well, his father thought that he'd built up this great business for his 2 sons, but after he died, the 2 sons couldn't get along with each other.
Now, Paul, honey, can I correct you?
Yeah.
The father jumped off a bridge because his two sons could not get along.
That's right.
They fought so much about the business. I think
Yeah.
it's an important lesson.
Yeah.
Whenever you build up money and your children fight over it, it diminishes
Yeah.
and demeans everything you've done.
That's
And that
exactly
father was
right.
in so much pain over the fighting between his two sons, he jumped off a bridge.
That's right.
Okay, well, I think that's an important message, and
Yeah.
this whole talk is about messages.
Yeah.
So when that happened, then what happens? Your friend asked you to buy it with him, right? How did
Yeah,
that?
right.
Tell me about that.
Well, I had a friend that was in the same line of business, and he'd heard about this ruckus that was going on.
And this friend was on the backboard with you. What was
On
his,
the backboard,
what was his name?
Harold Cowan.
Harold Cowan. Okay.
And so the mother didn't like the fighting, and she wanted to sell it and forget the whole damn thing. So we went up there and we bought it. And
But they still had some stock.
they still had stock, yeah.
And at one point, they were trying to push you guys to sell it, the two sons in their fighting.
Yeah,
And tell about that. That's important.
well, the two sons, well, there was one of them that didn't want to sell it because he had a job there. And he was afraid if we sold it, he wouldn't have a job anymore, which was probably true. And so,
And Harold had died at this point, and you'd become the head of the company,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
But finally we kept it and struggled with it.
Do you remember that, or shall I help you? You've kind of forgotten. What happened is it looked like it was going to sell, and the mother and the son came with their attorney.
Yeah,
And then the mother changed her mind and went with the other son and let you, and it didn't sell. Wasn't that right?
Yeah.
Or it did sell. I don't know.
the one that had a job there, at the stockholders meeting about the offer to sell the company, the fellow that had a job with the company, he voted against the sale because he was afraid he'd lose his job, which he did. And then, so he disappeared, and the other son disappeared.
The mother changed her mind after you talked. That's what happened. You remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
And she went with you.
that's right.
So the business sold because you wanted to get out of it. Your
Yeah.
partner had died, and you
Yeah.
were about 75 now. What did Wyomissing do?
Wyomissing had a lot of machines, automatic machines, which they bought in Europe and imported. And these machines were automatic machines that could make all kinds of fancy women goods automatically. So,
And you made Hershey bar wrappers?
yeah, that was another division of the same company. It had a paper division that had a contract to make all the wrappers for Hershey bars.
And that's why you were located in Hershey, Pennsylvania or something.
That's
Then you had
right.
an office in New York City?
Huh?
Didn't you have an office in
We
New
had
York
an
City?
office in the Radio City because there were a lot of these people in that type of business had their office in Radio City. So if we were going to keep in good standing with them and see them enough, we couldn't do that very well from rural Pennsylvania. So we had an office in New York City, and the Empire State Building.
Now, you liked running while missing a lot more than you did the ice cream business.
Yeah,
Why?
well, the union never caused the trouble.
And you were on a higher level, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
were working as you ran the ice cream business. This one you just managed.
Yeah,
You said, and other people's reported to you.
yeah,
So you've had a pretty full life with your business,
yeah.
but you haven't missed it since you quit, have you?
I what?
You haven't missed it.
No,